Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. If there's one mistake which William Ruto ever committed and is deeply regretting, in my view, was the move to engineer the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Because that impeachment is still haunting William Ruto to date. Over 5 million votes which he got from the mountain is currently at stake. And the region which voted for William Ruto to the last man is currently the biggest thorn on his flesh. I'm not so sure whether the move to arrest Rigathi Gachagua will be able to serve William Ruto's political interest. But today I paid very close attention to the proceedings in Parliament. And I can assure you that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Plans are being hatched to arrest Rigathi Gachagua.
Country, I want to say this in conclusion finally, that what happened yesterday was an attempt to take over power unconstitutionally, to do a coup on the governance, on the government of the Republic of Kenya. We lost an election as ODM. We disputed the election. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court told us you have lost the election. We abided by the decision of the Supreme Court. We never attempted to overthrow the government. What the hell can this Rigathi Gachagua do that he can take power through an orthodox means? Gachagua must be arrested as early as tomorrow morning.
Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Asante.
Tumesikia mmekuwa na machungu sana na maandamano ya jana na mmezungumza kwa mapana na marefu. Nyinyi wenyewe mnasema ni maandamano ambayo yalipangwa na kwenye mabano watu kutoka jamii moja ambayo inataka kufanya mapinduzi ya serikali. Labda katika mtizamo wako na maandamano haya ambayo jinsi ambavyo yamekuwa yakiandaliwa, utasema ni vijana ambao wanaandaa maandamano ama kuna wanasiasa ndani ya maandamano haya?
Yule ambaye anaandaa maandamano ni yule ambaye alikuwa naibu wetu wa rais akang'atuliwa kwa kufukuzwa ofisini kwa kuwa mkabila, na anajaribu kutumia kabila lake kuleta taharuki kwa kutisha na kuharibu mali ya wale ambao pengine anafikiria hawamuungi mkono kisiasa, ili atumie umwagikaji wa damu wa vijana wetu majenzi ili kunusura jahazi lake la kisiasa ambalo tayari limekwisha zama.
Unasema maandamano haya si vijana ambao wanapanga ila kuna wanasiasa ndani?
Si vijana ambao wanapanga maandamano. Na hii maandamano si kwamba ni maandamano ya vijana wa Gen Z. Hii ni maandamano ya wahuni ambao wamekuja kupora, kuharibu mali ya umma na kuharibu mali ya wananchi vile wanavyoona mali yenyewe ilivyokuwa. Sababu hakuna maandamano yanafanywa hadi usiku, saa 2 ya usiku, saa 3 ya usiku, na maandamano ambayo yamekita mizizi katika maeneo ya kati. Kule ndio mijengo mingi ya serikali imechomwa, mali ya wananchi imeporwa, maduka kuvunjwa, na tunasema yote ikome, na yule naibu rais wetu wa zamani ambaye aling'atuliwa kwa ofisini kwa kufukuzwa akamatwe, apelekwe mahakamani.
And Rigathi Gachagua is going to be arrested over the Gen Z protests which took place yesterday. And for those who followed the protest yesterday, two things came out clearly from the government. The first thing was that there were attempts to make the protest appear as if they were Kikuyu or Mount Kenya affairs.
Yesterday was a great success in terms of the police work, even though the destruction that went all the way to almost midnight. All these goons who were brought all the way from Muranga, some of them were brought from Nyeri, some were brought from Kirinyaga, most of these goons were left in town. Some were left in Thika Road. And so as they were going back home, they caused immense havoc last night in Thika town, looting people's businesses, mugging people, robbing people in Thika town, and some on their way to Kajiado also caused a lot of havoc on their way. So, and the police were really overwhelmed because now they were doing some of this work in darkness, especially some who, on the onset of this darkness, they came back to the roads to try to rob motorists and other citizens. It has not been easy when such number of goons and criminals and thieves and thugs and robbers are are concentrated in one area, collected by these politicians, it's not easy for the police officers to be able to maintain law and order.
And that can actually explain why in Luland there was the push for Ma Okloenjwa, which simply translates to "this is not our war." And the second thing which also came out clearly yesterday is that there were attempts to make these protests appear as if they were violent. Number two, there were also clear attempts to make these protests appear as if they were violent. And the truth of the matter is that these protests were infiltrated, either by political players, that's where Rigathi Gachagua comes in, or by the government themselves who wanted to make them appear as though they were violent. The truth of the matter is that the intention was to portray these Gen Z protests as violent. But I don't want to get into those for now. For now, I want us to focus on the arrest of Rigathi Gachagua, because by next week, Rigathi Gachagua is going to be arrested. Listen into some of the debates in Parliament today.
Why is the country angry? Why is the country angry? The country is angry because the youth do not have a job. The country is angry because there's overtaxation. The country is angry because the government has refused to listen to them. Yesterday it was Raila. Today you are saying it's Gachagua. What I want to tell you is this: unless we address the core issues affecting this country.
Shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. You're currently on pension paid by the government. They pay for your cars, they pay for your gardener, they pay for your cook, and then you go to the streets to demonstrate and mislead our children, to destroy people's properties. Shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. I give my condolences to the families who lost their loved ones. Also, my sympathies with the police officers who are injured. And also, congratulate the police for trying to keep the peace of this country.
Citizens rising up to the occasion and saving our country. We have to become the conscience of our nation. We cannot solve our grievances by destroying what we have. The time has come for a candid conversation. Our young people are speaking, but they must know that this country, to get where it has gotten, it has taken painstaking building. And it is important that we appeal to them that this country belongs to them, but they cannot be able to live in a country that is ruined and destroyed.
But Mr. Speaker, we must be careful, because when you look at the way this motion is worded, we seem more concerned about the property that was damaged, and we are not talking about the 10 people that lost their lives yesterday. We are not talking about the 60 that lost their lives last year, right here in Parliament.
Order,
Mr. Speaker,
Mbui, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, Robert Mbui, take your seat. Save his time. Save his time. Robert Mbui, I'm also sitting here and I listen. Let's have fidelity to facts. Milo Odhiambo next to you has eulogized all the dead up to 20 years back.
The motion is very clear. It doesn't actually talk about the 60 that were killed last year. It doesn't talk about the 10 that were killed yesterday. It talks only about the destruction of property. So, Mr. Speaker, it's important. It's very important that we be careful about this issue. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, is my deputy, who is not behaving very well also. Mr. Speaker, is he in order to mislead the House that we are in demonstrations, we have only lost 10 people, 60 people, when he knows very well we were with him having sofrias on our head, and we lost over 100 people on the road, Mr. Speaker, and he was part of us that time. Why is he not talking about those ones? Or because they are Luos, Mr. Speaker, and their lives don't matter. Luo lives don't matter in this country, Mr. Speaker.
I regret what happened in Nairobi County and across the country yesterday. What was supposed to be a peaceful demonstration was not peaceful. Lots of people ended up losing their lives. So many others were injured. And on top of it, a lot of people lost property. And Nairobi came to a standstill, as did many other parts of the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you think Rigathi Gachagua will be arrested? The truth is, Rigathi Gachagua is likely to be arrested. And why would the government arrest Rigathi Gachagua over these demonstrations? Well, we know, in quotes, these demonstrations were for the Gen Zs. That's exactly what I want to explain to you guys on this channel. Before you do that, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to take the opportunity to thank the following people you are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, the first intention of the arrest is basically to set the Kikuyu nation against Rigathi Gachagua. The main intention of the arrest is to blame Rigathi Gachagua for failing or infiltrating the demonstrations using goons. And those goons ended up looting businesses. And majority of businesses which were looted, which were destroyed, actually belonged to the Kikuyu nation. That's why if you listen to Kipchumba Murkomen, he was very clear that these demonstrations targeted specific areas, specific constituencies. Kimani Ichungwa was very clear that the looting targeted businesses from specific communities. The truth is, if you look at Nairobi and the way it's set up, the demonstrations actually took place majorly in Kikuyu dominated areas. That was by design. The truth is, places like Kibera, Kawangware, Mathare did not really feel the impact of the demonstrations because a lot of investments were made in those areas to make these demonstrations appear as if they were only by the Kikuyu community. That's why Osoro was bold enough in parliament today to question Rigathi Gachagua's silence over the businesses of the mountain.
Number 3, Honorable Speaker, it's the question to the former Deputy President. You claim to speak for the Mount Kenya region. Now speak about the destruction of property. Speak about the loss of jobs. Talk about Naivas that was looted in Nyeri. Now talk about those young people that lost jobs in Nyeri. Talk about...
Elachi. Okay, give him a minute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Talk about the lives lost. Now talk about the Kikuyu law court, Honorable Speaker, that was burnt down, Honorable Speaker. Talk about those people who are suffering, Honorable Speaker, when they were going home after doing their business, Honorable Speaker. They were being stalked by goons and they were being asked of money before they passed, Honorable Speaker. If this person claims to speak about, for Mount Kenya people, this is the time we want to hear about those people who lost businesses in town, those people that have suffered, Honorable Speaker. And there is no question about it. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua must be arrested. And all the politicians that work under him, they should be arrested and investigated because we saw some of them moving around and claiming that they are supporting this movement called Gen Z, which is a lie, Honorable Speaker. There is no movement called Gen Z. These are criminals. There is nothing like that. There is nothing called Gen Z, Honorable Speaker. Those are people who are hiding behind a generation to loot and bring anarchy in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Because there's a strong feeling that if Rigathi Gachagua were to be linked to the destruction of the businesses, then the Kikuyu nation, who are predominantly businessmen, next time will not heed to any call to go to the street. That's number 1. Number 2, why Rigathi Gachagua is going to be arrested is to erode the name of the Gen Z protest. It has always been assumed that Gen Z protests are always peaceful, that they turn up with their phones, flag only. But now we are seeing shops being looted. We are seeing supermarkets being looted. We are seeing petrol stations being looted. There is a supermarket in Nyeri, I think Naivas, looted completely. The intention is to erode the peaceful nature of Gen Z protest. So that next time, if Gen Zs were to call for another protest, Kenyans will be like, Apana, you guys are never peaceful. And that is exactly what the government wanted. I watched a clip of a gentleman who is one of the businessmen there. And this gentleman was really mad at Kipchumba Murkomen because Kipchumba Murkomen assured them that their businesses were going to be protected. And this gentleman was saying that all along, every time there's protest, what they normally do as businessmen, they always bring their own people to secure. So they hire maybe the men in those areas, and they hire some other guys just to protect those areas. They are like part of the demonstrations, but they're stationed there. This time they were told, don't. The government will provide security. There is no way you can convince me. It will be very hard for you to convince me that a crowd of young people can go to county commissioners' headquarters, which is highly secured, go there, ban over 26 vehicles. Not a single person dead. But we're seeing people being shot at, like that gentleman. Captured nowhere. He even carried a stone. But people who raided a supermarket got out. So the truth is, clear attempt to portray Gen Z protest as violent. So that next time, if they were to call this protest, they will not have the support of the country, because in all instances, they've always had the support of the country, especially the church. Number 3, and this is, I think, is the main intention, is to brand Rigathi Gachagua as a violent politician. Remember, when Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, the main reason why he was impeached was because they were alleging that he was planning a coup against the government. He infiltrated the Gen Z protest last year, and that they wanted to overthrow the government. That's violence. Again, today, we witnessed what happened. So the intention is to portray Rigathi Gachagua as violent. I don't know whether it's going to succeed. And number 4, which is my last point, is that there is a clear strategy to try and divert the attention of the country from police brutality. You see, the main issue has always been police brutality. How many people were killed during this protest? 12. How many were killed using a stone or machete? None. All of them police. How many people are in hospital nursing gunshot wounds? Several. Of course, even policemen. How many people are in hospitals as we speak nursing injuries? Of course, even policemen are in hospital. But the truth is, someone is out to try and divert the attention from focusing on police brutality. That's why Kipchumba Murkomen was very clear that the police did a good job. They really restrained themselves. I don't know what you think. Do you think the plan to arrest Rigathi Gachagua is a good plan? Let me read your comments. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.